Seed saving. I cannot stress the importance of it. Please, if you are not interested in seed saving, at least watch through this video. I promise you it's not going to be a long one. I do know that you have important things to do, and I don't want to waste your time, but I want to make sure that you know the importance of seed saving, so at least if you're on the fence about it, or if you've never done it, but you've maybe considered trying it, this video might encourage you to save some seeds. Just last night, I was opening up my inbox like I normally do. I love to read emails, read messages from excited gardeners, people that love the show, and I appreciate your support. I appreciate you writing in. I can't reply to every email, but I do read every single email, and sometimes I can reply, and a lot of times I do reply. And this email was worded, Luke, I really just don't find seed saving that interesting. It's something that I never really gave a whole lot of thought to. Why should I be saving seed? What is the reason why I should be saving seed? And if you own a seed company, do you save seed just to create content, or do you actually grow the seed that you save? Do you actually, practice what you preach, or do you just start fresh every single year from seed that you sell? Because absolutely, if you're totally new to this channel, we've got a seed company. We sell over 700 different varieties of heirloom and organic vegetable seeds. So absolutely, I could go in, I could walk in, and I could pillage the shelves for whatever I wanted to grow to my heart's content. But do I? The answer is, do I? No, I don't. I do start from seed that I save myself. So the first seed I'm going to be saving here is this bee balm, and I'll jump right on into the first reason why you should be saving seeds, and it's a really great extension to gardening. Now, is seed saving actually gardening? Some would say yes. However, some would say no. And that's because you are actually preserving seed rather than growing a plant. And yes, you have to grow a plant in order to get it to produce seed, to save the seed. But you could walk out into the wild and find, seeds coming, seeds from flowers, seeds from trees, and you could save those as well. And you're not actually gardening. So it's a loose connection. It's like gardening adjacent. It's not necessarily gardening, but it is connected to gardening. And I really like it because it allows me to be connected to the process of gardening. I think it's just really common for us to go to the hardware store, big box store, garden center, wherever you get your seeds from. It's just, or go onto a catalog or MIgardener.com. And it's really common for us just to go on there and say, oh, well, there's our seed for the year. We get those seed and we just grow them. When the gardening season's done, we rip up the plants, we throw them in the compost pile, and we start fresh every single year. But what we kind of fail to remember is the process that it takes to get that seed into your garden. It helps build appreciation for what you actually have. It's the equivalent of like when I grow my own food and I put it on my table, we rarely waste anything when it comes to meals. We don't throw out a whole lot of food in this household, and that's because we have a very deep appreciation for just the amount of work that it takes to get that piece of food onto our table. And so when you save seed, it really just helps kind of solidify the reason why you're growing a garden, and not only that, but how that seed even got to end up in your garden in the first place. We're getting a good yield on this bergamot, getting really good yield. Not every flower head is going to give you seed, but not every flower head also has a lot of seed, but it's hit or miss. Some flower heads have a lot of seed, some have very little, and some have none. But at the end of the day, once you've saved 20, 30 flower heads, you're going to end up with a decent amount of seed here. Not all of this is seed, by the way. Some of it's chaff, so it's not all seed. But if I kind of single out and isolate the seeds, I've got probably 150, 200 seeds there, which is awesome. I mean, that's a really good yield from one plant, and that'll give me plenty of seeds I can grow for next year or give away to friends and family as gifts and stuff. So the next reason why you should save seed is because of this. If you can ask me, why should I save seed? I'll answer that question, but you should also answer my question. What happens if there's a variety that you really love in your garden, but you can no longer find seeds for it because something happens to that variety? It's a really honest question, and you should be able to answer that. And I think in answering that will help answer why you should save seeds. And so that might seem like pretty extreme. You might think, well, like these varieties that I've come to love in my garden, they wouldn't go extinct, would they? Like nothing. If something happened to them, I would just say, well, not this year, maybe next year. And a lot of people think that way. A lot of people just think, well, if something happens, I'll just move on to a similar variety. Give me something comparable. We get that a lot. When something sells out at MIgardener, people will just write in saying, give me something comparable. And it's like, there is an underlying reason why I don't have this seed. You know, I don't just willingly want to be sold out of something. It's because I can't get it. And the reason why I can't get it could be because there's short supply, or because you can't get it at all. This has actually happened to us a lot. Prime example, Mizuna Red Streaks mustard. Mizuna Red Streaks mustard was out. You couldn't get it anywhere for about 4 years. The reason why was because when there was a bunch of wildfires going on the East Coast and the Pacific Northwest, there was also a massive heat wave and drought going on in the desert regions of like Colorado and Nevada. And unfortunately, a lot of the leafy green growers will grow things like Mizuna Red Streaks mustard and a bunch of other things as well, and they'll grow them in those regions. Well, it was a freak occurrence on top of a freak occurrence, and these seed farmers had too many eggs in one basket. It was just like they were putting all their hope that like these two regions are going to, one of them will produce, but they had a drought, a heat wave, and wildfires completely wiped out all the Mizuna Red Streaks mustard that they were growing. And that left it up to small family farmers and small little home gardeners on the East Coast and the Midwest and even, you know, out of the country, up in Canada, down in Mexico, around the world to say, yeah, you know, I've got a couple Mizuna Red Streaks mustard packets. I'm gonna grow it and I'm gonna save seeds from it. And because of that diligence, because of those efforts, the Mizuna Red Streaks mustard is still alive and well today. But for 4 years, you couldn't get it. You couldn't get it at all. And that just goes to show how sensitive and how delicate the seed supply is here in the United States and around the world. And I think the thing that's really frightening to me is I'll hear people say, well, if something happened to the variety that I really love, I'll just grow something similar. Or if it went extinct, just whoopsie, oh well. I think that's just really frightening, because would you say that to, you know, a species of beautiful large tree? Would you say that to like the maple tree? Would you say, oh, I don't need maples anymore, I'll just look at oaks for the rest of my life, right? You'd be like, oh my gosh, we have to try to preserve this maple variety because maple trees are beautiful. They give us maple syrup. Like, there's a whole economy around the maple tree. I can't let this go. And so you would be saving maple seeds wherever you saw a maple tree. You'd be saving seeds so you could grow them and multiply them and replicate them, and you'd be doing anything you could. If there was like an animal that was you know, threatened and endangered, you'd be saying, hey, stop hunting this, stop poaching this. Like, we really need to do everything we can to preserve this animal, because we don't want to see this go extinct. But yet with seeds, it's almost as if there's so many varieties. There's like 5,000 varieties of heirloom tomatoes. There's so many varieties, it's very easy for us to just be like, oh, there's 4,999 others. Let's say there was only one lettuce variety, only one lettuce variety. Would you simply say, oh well, I'll just eat kale salad for the rest of my life? Or would you say, oh no, I like salad, I enjoy salad, I need to keep this variety alive, I'm gonna keep saving seeds, because if something happens to this lettuce variety, it's kale salads for the rest of my life. I think you'd have a whole different perspective. And that's really the idea that I want you guys to look at it, is like, treat every variety like there's only one. Treat every variety like there's only one, because you never know what's gonna happen. And the seeds that you have in your hand could be the very seeds that help to keep that variety around. Prime example, giant crimson tomato. We found some tomato seeds in a shadow box about 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago. And these seeds were 85 years old, 85 years old. The variety that was in that packet was known as the giant crimson. There was 4 packets in this little shadow box, and it was sold in an antique store. We picked it up and we said, well, there's seeds inside. We'd be crazy not to try to sprout them. After doing some research, we found out that the giant crimson was extinct. It was extinct. The seeds we had in our hand, if they didn't germinate, that could be the very last opportunity for that variety to ever see the light of day. And so we tried our hardest. We had roughly about 1,000 seeds or so. We took 1,000 seeds and we only got 2 to sprout. 2, but 2 sprouted out of 1,000. Those seeds that sprouted, only 1 actually survived to actually continue growing. That one variety we cloned, we saved seeds, we replicated that variety by saving seeds, taking cuttings, getting that variety out into the hands of as many people as possible. And now, because of our efforts, that little handful of seeds that we had, with the chance that 1 or 2 might sprout, now saved that variety from extinction. And now there are thousands of people around the world growing that variety. And the third and final reason why you should be saving seeds is, on a lighter note, well, because it's really fun. It's really fun to save seeds. And what do I do with seeds? Well, I grow them myself. I grow seeds myself, but I also like to give them away to friends and family as gifts. Free gifts that come from the heart don't cost you anything, but they have intrinsic value to somebody. A lot of people know how hard it is to save seeds. A lot of people see how small those seeds are and how much time it must have taken to save those seeds. And so they have a certain level of appreciation. It's kind of the equivalent of like knitting someone a sweater. If you knit someone a sweater, they're not going to say, well, you just knitted me a sweater, sweet. Just like throw it in the closet and never wear it. They're going to say, holy cow, that took a lot of time. That took a lot of time, because I know how long it takes to knit something. I know it's just not a process that just takes 5 minutes. It's like hours and hours of work. That is a gift from the heart that will make a huge impact in someone's life. So those are the reasons why I save seeds, why I advocate saving seeds. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something new. Check out the seeds I saved. So it's getting dark. I'm gonna head inside, but I will see you all on the next episode. I'll see you all on Thursday. I've got a lot more coming out here. We're gonna be cleaning up the garden. We're gonna be talking about next year's garden plans. We're actually gonna be planting some stuff, believe it or not, planting some stuff. So stay tuned for that. Got a lot of great episodes coming out. If you did enjoy, make sure to throw a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, this is Luke from the MIgardener channel, reminding you to grow big or go home. If you do need to get some seeds and you haven't saved your seeds already, go check out MIgardener.com. We have one of the largest selections of heirloom, organic, and non-GMO vegetable seeds for just $2 a pack. We ship worldwide, and we do free shipping on orders of $12 or more. So a little shameless plug for the seed store, but I'm gonna get these inside. Oh, and when you save seeds, keep them cool, dark, and dry, and they'll last way, way longer. So I'm gonna get these inside, keep them cool, dark, and dry for next spring. All right. Take care, guys. Grow big or go home. We'll see you later.